of my Duke and I podcast. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a marvelous day. And if you're seeing the show for the first time and you like the show, please subscribe, like, and share, and hit the notification bell so when an episode comes out, you will be the first to know. So, I and the rest of the world, we are still waiting for that apology from Jeremy Clarkson after writing that vile article on Meghan, which was really a manifesto of a call to action for the deranged people that are out there who are in dark places and are waiting for a signal to act upon the sinister thoughts that they have, which Jeremy Clarkson is enabling or telling them to go out and do. And I am happy that not only is Sussex Squad holding him accountable, but also several people, celebrities as well as everyday people, have cried out about this heinous article that Jeremy Clarkson wrote. I don't understand how this article was able to pass the editor of The Sun to make the light of day to the point where people on the internet and all over were praising the article, and I'm talking about the derangers, and liking this article. This was wrong on Jeremy. He knows better. He's a father of 2 daughters, and there is no way what he said about Meghan that he would want somebody to say about his daughters. There shouldn't be a double standard. So I am just happy that these 60 members of parliament are calling for Jeremy's firing from The Sun, as well as a formal apology to Meghan. And let us continue to hold Jeremy's feet to the fire until he apologizes. I'm also happy to see that people are calling also for him not to have any TV interactions in the UK because he is misrepresenting what I believe some people in England stands for. There's a lot out there too that are racist and haters of Meghan, but not all of the UK people feel the same way as Jeremy Clarkson, and some of them are standing up, thank God for them, and chastising Jeremy for writing an article that literally is telling people how to hurt Meghan. Shame on him. What man with 2 children would write an article where a woman is bare, naked, parading through the streets of Great Britain where feces are thrown at her? You must be sadistic, Jeremy, for you to have that kind of carnal thought to write an article like this. Shame on you. And I hope Harry and Meghan press charges against you, because you are no better than the 2 podcasters that said that Archie should be put down and Harry is a traitor for marrying Meghan. And you're no better than that individual that was sent off to jail for threatening Harry and Meghan. Now, so far, we have not heard a word from the palace. It's like crickets coming out of the palace. And I am not surprised, because clearly, days before Jeremy published this article, he was at a luncheon with Camilla. And that is the reason why the world believes that Jeremy is in cahoots with the palace as well as Camilla. And it is strongly believed that this article was sanctioned by the palace. I don't know how a father, Charles, can allow a man to speak so ill and vile of his daughter-in-law and not say a word about it. I also don't get how Prince Charles said that Harry is his son and he loves him and he wishes his family well, and would not defend somebody that is wanting to cause harm to his daughter-in-law, his son's wife. What kind of man is Prince Charles? What kind of man is leading a nation when he cannot even stand up and speak up against a call to action by an individual to harm his daughter-in-law? Shame on you, Charles. If you cannot safeguard the people that you claim to love, there is no way that you can safeguard the people in the Commonwealth countries. Absolutely no way. I have a strong feeling, or it appears, that the palace is in bed with the media. I don't know what the media has on the palace. I don't know if it's the alleged affair that William had with Rose Hanbury. I don't know if it is that. That is the reason why they're afraid to speak, because the media might just spill the beans on them. It could well be that. Or if the palace have so many skeletons in their closet that the media knows about, somebody in the palace is afraid to speak up. Camilla, who claims that she stands for women who have been domestically abused, she is allowing a man to speak so violently about another woman. Camilla is a hypocrite. You cannot speak up against domestic abuse. You cannot speak up against domestic violence against women when your own stepson, his wife, you're allowing somebody else to speak ill of her and to encourage or to think about destroying her or humiliating her in the public. How disgusting are you, Camilla? What kind of woman are you? Well, I know the same woman that ran around and chased another woman's husband for how many years, to the point where she ended up living and losing her life. If Camilla had not interfered in Diana and Charles's marriage, Diana would be here today. I strongly believe that. And that's why I now understand why Camilla can sanction such an atrocity against another woman, because she herself, she is heartless. She has done the same thing to another woman. So how dare she would ever feel any kind of empathy or sympathy towards another woman? Really? Why would she? Why would she? Now, I am so upset that this article is taking center stage and overshadowing all the wonderful things that the Sussexes are doing, because it has dominated the headlines, and we didn't even hear much of how the Sussexes were able to distribute gifts for 30 families that were separated and reunited at the US-Mexico border. That's a shame that we're not hearing about making people happy and putting a smile on their faces over the holiday. That should take precedent over this article that Jeremy has written. He is really a Grinch for so many people. What a horrible man. We didn't even hear about the article that Harry co-authored with Senator Coons and the Prime Minister of Ethiopia because of Jeremy Clarkson, that thoughtless bonehead. It is a shame that a man who has 2 daughters would stoop so low and would be so preoccupied with another person that he's never met to the point where he would stoop so low and write an article about them. I am so upset about what is going on because I know that the Sussexes, they have set out to do good in the world, and here is this bonehead, Jeremy Clarkson, rearing his ugly, monstrous head and taking away the spotlight from all the good that the Sussexes are doing. It is a travesty. He is literally the Grinch that is stealing Christmas. We didn't even get to hear in all of the magazines out there, all they're talking about is Jeremy Clarkson, and we didn't even get to hear about all the good things that Harry and Meghan are doing, because what always takes precedent in the press is negativity, and they know it. And I also believe one of the reasons why he wrote this article is to deflect from some of the things that Harry and Meghan pointed out in their docu-series that happened to them in the United Kingdom, as well as while they were in the royal family. And shame on them, shame on Jeremy, because the very thing that he tried to do is also backfiring, because now everybody can see what Harry and Meghan said was true. You know, there was an article written in the New York Times, an opinion piece, and what the article said, and that was by Roxanne Gay, and it was titled When Harry Met Meghan. She said, if Harry and Meghan had called for the dismantling of the royal family, it would have made a greater impact. But I strongly believe that the Sussexes will one day say that. And I cannot wait until they say something like this. Because if this continues and these people in the royal family is sanctioning those hit pieces on the Sussexes, that will warranty for them to say something like this, to dismantle the royal family, because it serves no purpose if all it does is to spread hate. Now, I don't know what it is that has triggered these UK people. I don't know what Meghan did. I guess all she did was breathe, and they've been triggered. And this psychologist, who is supposed to be treating people, who is supposed to be an expert, who has been on countless television shows talking about psychology. This woman, I don't know where she got her degree from, but to me she's a quack, because she is making a diagnosis about somebody that she has never met, one, and she is making that diagnosis based on her television screen. What a fool and a quack. Who does that? If anything, I think that woman is projecting all her insecurities on Meghan. And if anybody needs to be evaluated, is Sherry Jacobson, for saying that Meghan has princess syndrome because she wants to be the main character or the main energy in every story. She said her need to place herself at the center of the story was always going to be somewhat problematic for the royal family. There goes another mouthpiece for the royal family. Because somebody is speaking their truth, because somebody is relaying their experience in the royal family, you are pressed, you are bothered. Sherry Jacobson, look at her. She has a horse face. Ugh, these people are disgusting. It's nothing more than envy and jealousy. They see Meghan and Harry with their two beautiful children in their nice Montecito mansion, and they're all triggered. You know, one of the things too that they were saying is that those babies, Archie and Lily, weren't Harry and Meghan's babies, but they saw Meghan big pregnant. And if anybody is thinking here in the United States that you can take two babies and parade them around and they're not yours and nobody's going to question you, then you must be living underneath a rock, or you must be institutionalized for your own safety because you're crazy. Plain and simple. I hope that settles the matter, because if anybody is walking around and thinking that, my God, the world is in trouble. Those are the things that upsets me, and they take center stage. Instead of talking about the new docu-series that Harry and Meghan is going to be streaming on Netflix about world leaders and public figures creating positive changes and making an impact in the world. The series is called Live to Lead, and it is going to air on Netflix starting December 31st. I think there's a series of episodes. Some of the people that they're going to feature on these episodes are people like Greta Thunberg, Gloria Steinem, the late Supreme Court Judge Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and to name a few. That is what we should be focusing on, not people like Sherry Jacobson, who literally is an idiot. And she's trying to sort of mask the real story that is going on, which is that the royal family is racist, the media is racist. They all were working with the royal family to destroy Harry and Meghan, to the point where Harry decided that he was going to get his wife out of England, his child out of England, because they probably were going to do Meghan the same thing that they did to his mother at the tender age of 12. Kill his mother, okay, by chasing her down to her death. So Sherry Jacobson, shame on you, claiming that you have a psychology degree. I don't know what school you went to. I don't know where you got your degree, but clearly you need help. You certainly need help, Sherry. Horseface Sherry, jealous of Meghan. When you have good people, you're always going to have workers of the devil trying to create problems, trying to disrupt the positive things that people are doing. Because one thing I know about the devil, he never likes to see happiness. He's always working overtime to ensure that people are miserable. I'm just happy that Harry and Meghan was able to leave the United Kingdom, because Harry was right. God knows what would have happened to them had they stayed in that cesspool of hate and that demonic place they call the United Kingdom. Shame on them. They have no values. They have no morals. It's just a cesspool and a snake pit, that country. And I'm not saying everybody in England is like that, but my goodness, the few that is creating this message and signaling that hate, they're certainly making it bad for everybody that is over there. They're certainly making England a place that people would want to boycott, people would not want to go to. God forbid that you're over there after spending your money going to England, you would experience racism to upset your soul. What people have to do is to show these people a lesson. And I'm calling for the world to cease going to England, to boycott England. Because if they're putting out hate out there, nobody should be going over there and spending money on that in that country. Nobody should be spending their hard-working dollar in England. Thank God I can say for the Sussex squad that refused to allow these creatures over there that works for the media and for the palace. Thank God for them to always casting a spotlight on them, and every move they make, every wrong step or every wrong foot they put, we're catching it and we're putting them on blast and putting their feet to the fire. Thank God for the Sussex squad. Meghan have the Sussex squad in her corner, and we're going to keep fighting for her until England get it together, until the palace falls apart, until those walls are broken down. We're going to keep their feet to the fire, and we're going to keep exposing them and calling them out and making them accountable. They've been stealing from people all their lives, and so many people have said so many prayers on this royal family that no matter what they do, they will always trip up, because that is their punishment. They will be lamented on in the news, in the public, because guess what? They have stolen, they have demonized people, they have let people suffer. So they will never rest in that palace. They will never rest. They will have scandal after scandal. And the next scandal that's going to come out is on William. Because let me tell you something, the press is two-faced. They will turn on him. They will eventually turn on him, and they say whatever happens in the dark has to come out in the light. So William can think that his secret is safe with the press. Let him continue thinking so, because the press is about making money. Eventually, they will turn on him. And I hope that the son makes the right decision. I hope that if they don't do the right thing by firing Jeremy, that all advertisers stop advertising. And the next thing that people have to do is to write to those advertisers and let them know that Jeremy Clarkson messaged that people can go ahead and harm Meghan, and that they shouldn't be advertising with the son, because he has sent out a message, a call to action for people to terrorize and potentially hurt Meghan. So if they're doing business with the son, then they are just as Jeremy Clarkson. Okay? Because they say birds of a feather flock together. Rupert Murdoch, he needs to be accountable as well. You know, the Sussex squad and various people have filed over 14,000 complaints about the vile article that Jeremy Clarkson wrote to, let me see, that watchdog organization, to the Independent Press Standard organization that is chaired by Edward Fawkes. And thank God for them. So Rupert Murdoch is on notice because Edward Falk, the chairman, He was supposed to be meeting with Rupert Murdoch, but when they got so many complaints, it wasn't a good look for Edward Fawkes, and he decided that he wasn't going to go and meet with Rupert Murdoch for dinner. That is the pressure that we want to continue to press and to hold them accountable, so that they know that the world is looking, and every move they make, we're going to question it. Because I don't understand how somebody that is supposed to be a watchdog is breaking bread with somebody that runs most of the media publication and TV stations in the United Kingdom. How is that possible? How can we get justice for Meghan when the very people who are supposed to protect other people is in bed with the very people that is doing that is causing the destruction of the people that we're trying to protect? It makes no sense to me. But anyways, they are on notice. They know that people are calling them out. We're watching them. We're watching them. Every move they make, we're going to keep our eye on them, and we're going to hold them accountable. And we're going to call out everything that they're doing. It's just quite disgusting what we're seeing in this day and age, in broad daylight. People are not even doing it in secret, but thank God for social media, that anytime something happens, it is able to spread like wildfire for the world to see. Guys, take care and be safe.